Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Michaela Titheridge from the Crafty Oink Pen, and I'm going to show you how I created this fun little easel card that I've had a number of questions about, and I've promised everybody that I will share it with you. So below you will find the varying measurements for all the different pieces that you need, but let me talk you through how to assemble. Basically, this is for me, I use A4, but the same would apply, and I have put the measurements for metric and imperial. But you want to cut a piece of cardstock in half down the middle, score it down the middle, and then you're going to score the front section in half again. So that is the basis. A really, really simple little easel card. Now, firstly, on the inside, I will have a black layer and a white matting layer, which we will adhere down here. Now, to start with, I'm just going to adhere the black because I've got some stamping to do on the white layer. There's that. Now we need a little stopper so that this doesn't keep sliding down, and it has somewhere to wedge itself into. So for this, I have cut another piece of black cardstock, and I've taken some of the designer series paper that I've just cut to sit with a nice lovely little border around it. Now those two can stick together, but when we stick this down onto our card, we need to elevate it so that it has a way of basically acting as a proper stopper. So what we need to do there is we're going to use some dimensionals. So I'm going to use a few along the front here. Oops. And then we will add this to our card. I'm going to just make sure that those images are the right way round, and I haven't got my record player upside down. And you see how now that acts as a little stopper. Okay. Now on the front, I've done a little panel that will have designer series paper stuck to it. So this is going to go flat. Say all these measurements are below for you. So we need to do our little record sleeve, and I've got a piece of crumb cake that I've got scored in half. Now you could just do the front. This really depends on whether you want to be able to pull this out. You might want to put a little message on the inside on your record, or you might just quite simply want to leave it there and it be fixed in place. So that is entirely up to you. I'm going to show you if you want to use it to make use of. So if you want to be able to have it as a sleeve, then this is how you want to do it. Is I have used the stylish shape dies, or a circle die or a circle punch, and I'm going to die cut here. Now I can just about see I've marked my halfway point on either side there. It's wearing thin, but it is there, and with some tape I'm just going to tape that in place. Now this may not go through both layers, but we will give it a try, and if it doesn't go through both, it will be very close. So making use of the stamp set, I'm going to bring in this large sentiment here, and using our black memento, give that a good ink up and add that to the front of our record sleeve. Now, what I did on the front of this, I just wanted to age it a little bit. Using some of the black memento and a blending brush, I have just kind of dirtied up the edge a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a vintagey, grungy look. so it doesn't look too fresh and clean. It just needs to age it up a bit. Now what we can do is I'm just going to put a little bead. I don't want to go mad, and I don't want to use tape for it to be too wide there. Otherwise, I'm not going to get my record in there. So I'm just using just a bead. If you wanted to use double-sided tape, you'll want to make a larger sleeve. But that's all I'm going to do. Now I have die cut the second largest stitched circle, and with the same size circle as I've used here, you see, I need to punch, or if you've got a small punch somewhere to hand, which I have got a little one. Now, personally, what I would do here, I'm really risking it here. So you'd be wise to actually punch your circle and then die cut around it. That may be what I'm going to have to do in a moment if I mess this up, but I will do that in the hope. Whew. Now, what we need to do here, because this needs to be stuck onto here, if I was to die cut a circle of that size, it's going to create a complete hole. Now, this obviously doesn't matter if your record is going to stay fixed, but I'm now taking the smallest of the dies. I'm popping it in the middle. Yeah, if yours is staying fixed and you don't have any intention of it coming out, then you don't need to worry about this part at all. But I'm going to put the smallest die on here. And then when I remove this, I've now got somewhere that I can still put some adhesive around to stick this onto. Remembering not to go out too far, and there I've still got the centre, which I otherwise couldn't reach. So now that will be able, let's pop this one back together. Let's slot that inside there. There we go, that was a snug fit that time. And then that can go to the front of my card. Like so. Now the other embellishments that I did here, I have stamped this sentiment here and fussy cut just the rock star part. So we'll pull that out. I'm only inking up. I'm only worried about the bottom half of that. So we'll stamp that there like so. And that can be fussy cut with my trusty paper snips. This I have adhered to the front of here with a single dimensional, and I've just used the black ones here, popped one in the middle, and I just wanted that to kind of be that forward edge focal point. And then we just need to do our guitars and some stars. So I've chosen on the inside to use the largest guitar here. And I fancied only kind of having part of it visible. So what I've done is I've lined it up so it's running with the forward edge of this particular piece of cardstock, and stamping that down there like so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to colour that in with our stamping blends, and I have picked out some nice bright vibrant Daffodil Delight. So let's give this a little bit of curvature, going darker on the outside edges a little bit and a bit down here. And then we will bring in the lighter of the two to kind of blend those together a little bit. There we are. That will stick on the inside here. Of course, you can add any other message that you want. So that will go into that black matting layer. And be that there. We'll die cut a few stars, and then we will also colour in our guitar for the front forward edge of this card. So again, just like I've done on the inside, I'm using Daffodil Delight. Nice, bright, punchy, cheerful colour. And then we will fussy cut this out before we stick this down onto our card. Now, if you want to have this blend in a little bit more, so that you don't have the white edges after you have finished fussy cutting this, you can take a Crumb Cake blends pen, stamping blends, and you could go up the neck of the guitar with that colour, so that when you adhere it onto your Crumb Cake coloured record sleeve, it will melt in a little bit more. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm just going to take a light Crumb Cake, and I'm just going over there. You won't notice the difference here at the moment, but there we go. So I've gone all the way over anything where it's white there. And then when we stick it to here, and I could even go around anywhere where there's white on the edge here, if I haven't cut it off, I can help that to blend in a little more. And that can be attached with a dimensional or two. You might want another little one further at the top here. And there we have it. That is the card that I had created as part of my All-Star Tutorial Hop share, not the card that I had within the exclusive tutorial. This was an additional one that the Hop creates. It's just additional inspiration, but many of you asked how I created it, and hopefully that's helped to answer your questions. Within the dies, there are some stars that you can add, or indeed, if you had the embellishments, you could add those instead. I hope you've enjoyed that little tutorial there, and that you can now get creating some of these with your rock and roll suite.